Hello, I'm back, and I may be coming to your house, but more about that later. As you know, I took a much needed break over the last couple of months. Yes, this new year had me really resting, realigning. I needed to stop what I was doing in order to just be still and see what the way forward would be. You see, I don't just talk about living intuitively. I actually do it. And that means you have to kind of be prepared for anything, you know. That's just the way it works. I took a lovely break, much needed break, and I was inspired to create something new, something you can hold in your hands, something that you can use in your daily life to remind you to keep coming back, because this is the most effective way, I believe, to live this life of presence that we all yearn for and have tasted. It's not through complicated teachings. No. In fact, the simpler, the better. It's the mind that wants to get into all the details and that craves more information and more knowledge. But actually what works best is simplicity. Simple reminders to come back. That's all. We just keep coming back and we trust this process. This way of noticing, of being aware. You really do need to trust this. It works. This week marks 5 years of the Wisdom Quotes Cafe Facebook group and posting almost daily reminders on how to live a life of presence instead of being trapped in the prison of our mind. For 5 years, I've been sharing the most profound, wonderful, amazing, and helpful wisdom quotes, and some coaching notes, and more recently, questions for reflection. I'm still amazed after all these years how powerful these words can be. Powerful and effective to wake us up from the dream of the mind. Let's face it, we all get caught up in this dream of the mind, don't we? This mind-created world. We get caught up in our stories about ourselves. We get caught up in our opinions about other people. We get caught up in all of it, understandably, because it looks and sounds and feels so real, doesn't it? But then something can happen. Something very simple, like reading a wisdom quote, or something in nature catching your attention. Well, sometimes you just remember out of the blue, wait a minute. And in that moment of awareness, you spontaneously and instantly come back to the reality of this moment. The reality of simply being here without looking at everything through the filter of your mind. You suddenly realize what the mind's been up to. And it really is like waking up from a dream, you know, where you realize, that felt so real. But actually it was just a dream. And I'm awake now, thank goodness. And these moments are so precious. You can have so many of them throughout the day. And that's what matters. That's what I want you to focus on. Not on all the problems the mind is creating and how to solve them. Don't worry about how convincing the stories of the mind are and how often you get caught up in them. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. There's no need. There's really no need. All that matters is whether you believe these stories or not, and whether you give them your attention. So let's focus on these small moments of realization, of awakening, of coming back to presence. Call them whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. It's those moments of waking up from the dream, the virtual reality world. This is why short quotes can be really powerful and effective, interrupting the stream of thinking. One thing I've always loved to do is to simplify things, because I love simplicity. I always say that the topics of awareness, intuition, and presence tend to be overcomplicated and can get rather confusing. So I like to simplify them and just share practical ways to experience these things. Awareness, intuition, and presence aren't complicated. They're simply actually aspects of your true nature. Yes, many teachings have been complicated over time, but the living truth inside them is actually very simple. This is what I like to focus on, and this is what I like to create content around to help you focus on, so that we don't keep getting distracted all the time and losing our way. Remember this, presence is simple. It's very simple. It's just being here, now. And being here with what's here with you. And then the minute you start being here with something else that doesn't exist in this moment, for example, thoughts about what's happened and thoughts about what may happen, then you're not here anymore, are you? And you've gone for a trip. And something else that's interesting is these days there's a lot of AI created content, right? And I don't know about you, but don't you sometimes watch a video or read something and wonder to yourself, I wonder if this was created by a human or if it's AI generated? Sometimes it's very obvious what it is, but sometimes it's not very obvious. And as time goes on, it's going to be harder to discern the difference. But this is actually very interesting, because we're learning to discern what's real and what isn't. And this is the skill that you have, that you can use when it comes to navigating your human experience and recognizing the difference between this virtual reality world of your mind, made up of thought, and this moment of presence. Eternal presence, really, because it's just one moment that keeps going on and on and on. Right? Just like it's one day, it's always today. It's always this moment. Of course, the mind can't grasp this. The mind is all about tenses. The mind lives in the past and future realm, so it can't grasp presence. Let this whole AI example invite you to look more carefully at what you're experiencing. Question your thoughts. Question your thoughts and consider how true they really are. Are they true? Or do they just come from some lifelong conditioning? Is the story that your mind made up true? So I created something to help us all remember. These are tangible reminders. These are cards, wisdom cards, that you can place around your house or carry with you to remind you to come back and to keep coming back again and again and again. And not to get tired of that, because that's just the way it is. It's better than not coming back at all. Let's face it. Sometimes all it takes is a sentence, a pause, a breath, to wake up from the dream and come back to what's here. To help you keep coming back to presence, I created these beautiful reminders, a pack of 4 wisdom cards with a different theme every month. Each quote is carefully chosen to help you come back to presence throughout the day. They're delivered by post every month, and if they ever stop feeling useful, you can cancel at any time. If you'd like to find out more, please visit my website, delightfullypresent.com.